Hello dear friends, this is Dr. Diktesh Patel and I'll be teaching you jet propulsion and aircraft engineering. In this video lecture, we are going to see lecture 5 of solid and liquid propulsion engine, and we are going to cover a certain subtopic such as properties of solid propellants, properties of liquid propellants and cryogenic propellants. So now let's begin with the properties of solid propellant. In this slide, we have mentioned the important properties of solid propellant that should possess. The first property is that it should release large amount of heat during combustion. Now, solid propellant should have an ability to generate the large amount of heat, which would increase the temperature and ultimately pressure. Now, this enormous amount of pressure can be utilized to generate the higher velocity and we can get the high thrust. The next properties is that the physical and chemical properties should not change during the combustion process. It should remain stable so we can get the complete combustion and that ultimately enhance the performance of the engine. The third property is that it should have a high density. All the solid propellant fuel should be highly dense so we can keep the high weight or high amount of fuels in the small chambers, and that should have an ability to go for the longer distances. Next properties, it should not be poisonous and hazardous. Obviously, some of the propellants are poisonous and hazardous and which make it hard to store or handle. So the solid propellant fuels should be poisonless and hazardless to carry them easily. Next properties, it should be cheap and easily available. So the overall running cost would be lower. Then it should be non-corrosive and non-reactive with component of the engine. So like some of these propellants are looks to be a corrosive or the reactive to the components, which are completely avoidable because it can corrode the engine and that is not acceptable. Next properties is storage and handling should be easy and safe. Sometime during the storage and handling, some solid propellants may get blast. So therefore, it is not acceptable or it may create a lot of damages to both property and the human being, and that's why it should be safe enough to store and handle the solid propellant. Then last properties, it should not absorb any moisture as it cause chemical deterioration. So these are the important properties of solid propellants. Now let's move forward to the important properties of liquid propellants. The term liquid propellant enhances all the various use and it may be one of the following such as oxidizer, fuel or chemical compound or a mixture of oxidizer and fuel ingredients capable of self decomposition or any of the above but with gelling agent. So these are the compositions, these are the terms of the liquid propellant system. Now it should carry certain properties to enhance the overall performance of the rocket engine. And the first properties is that the propellant should have higher calorific value. If the calorific value would be higher, you can achieve the complete combustions and the generations of the gases with the high temperature and pressure possibles, that would enhance the performance, that would enhance the thrust. Second one, its density should be high. It should be highly dense. Third one, it should have a low values of vapor pressure and viscosity. The next one, it should have higher specific heat and thermal conductivity. Then after, the products of combustion should have low molecular weight to produce high jet velocity. So it should have a low molecular weight. Then it should be non-corrosive and non-reactive with components of the engine. Same we have seen for the solid propellant. Next properties, it should not be poisonous and hazardous. Then after, it should be cheap and easily available. Next properties, the energy release during combustion per unit mass of the propellant combination should be high. So the overall energy that is released during the combustion should be high enough to enhance the performance of the engine. The next properties, it should be easily ignitable. And the last one is, it should have low freezing point and high specific gravity. Okay. So these are the various properties of the liquid propellant system. Then after, next let's move to the cryogenic propellants. Now in a modern rocket science, most of the rocket engine carry cryogenic propellant because it has an ability to go for the farther distances. So before we go through the cryogenic propellants, let's go through the various types of the propellant. Like we have seen the biopropellant and monopropellant. There are a certain other types, such as a cold gas propellant, which is stored at very high pressure, gives a low performance and allows a simple system, and is usually very reliable. Another one is storable propellant, such as nitric acid or gasoline. These are liquid at ambient temperature and can be stored for longer period in sealed tanks. Then another one is a gelled propellant, which is a thixotropic liquid with a gelling additive. It behaves like a jelly or thick paint. It will not spill or leak easily. That is the benefit of the gel propellant. It can flow under pressure, will burn, and it safer in some aspects. But out of all these, the cryogenics ones are the most favorable. So the cryogenic propellant is a liquefied gas at low temperature. Cryogenic fuels need to be stored at extremely low temperature in order to keep them in liquid state. And like couple of examples I have shown in the slide, such as liquid oxygen that need to be stored at minus 183 degrees Celsius, or liquid hydrogen which need to be stored at minus 253 degree Celsius. Cryogenic fuels most often constitute liquefied gas such as liquid hydrogen. Cryogenic fuels mainly classified in two categories: inert and flammable. Both types exploits the large liquid to gas volume ratio and occurs when liquid transitions to gas stage. Now let's go through these two types, inert and flammable. Inert is a type of fuel which typically use the regulation of gas production and flow to engine. Some common types include the liquid of nitrogen, liquid helium, and liquid neon. So these are the various types of the inert cryogenic propellant. Another one was the flammable propellant. So flammable types of a fuel utilize the beneficial liquid cryogenic properties along with the flammable nature of the substance as a source of power. Some common fuels include liquid hydrogen, liquid methane. Cryogenic fuels have a higher mass flow rate than fossil fuels and therefore it produces more thrust and power when combusted for use in an engine, which means that the engine will run farther on less fuel. Another care that must be taken is in order to prevent or reduce heat transfer, the surface of the tanks and pipelines filled with the cryogenic propellant is packed with heat insulation materials or heat insulators. So that's all at the moment. If you have any doubt, you can write down in the comment box. Thank you very much.